Duke the Dida.
It does it.
Somebody better mail that guy's helmet back from Syracuse. Outlet pass, and Coventry Academy is pulling off another dominating coast-to-coast play.
The game of stickball is an ancient sport, played by many Indian tribes of North America for centuries. It has been a part of the lives of the Muscogee Indian people for at least 1,000 years. It is still played during summer at a dozen or so ceremonial grounds in eastern Oklahoma. The rules of the game require the men to use a pair of long, cupped sticks, generally called ball sticks, to pass a small, hide-covered ball from one player to another, and then on to the goal. The art of making ball sticks has been passed on from generation to generation of Indian people.
I've been here with Team Tuscahoma since its inception. Team Tuscahoma is our team that comprises all of Choctaw Nation and Choctaws and a few other tribal peoples from other places. The history of Choctaw stickball goes way back. Long time ago, back in the ancient times, we lived in the Deep South. In the Deep South, there were many other tribes living all around us, scattered all down through the South. The territories were permanent, the villages were permanent. We lived in our own areas. Each village had its own hierarchy, peace chiefs, war chiefs, councils. One major part of the southeastern culture is the heads of the clans, who were in charge of what went on around the village. And the heads of the clans were the grandmothers. So to go to war was a decision that wasn't made lightly. In order to go to war chiefs had to get the blessing from the clan mothers, because it's their grandbabies you're taking to war.
According to at least one Choctaw oral tradition, stickball was created by a Choctaw man named Moshalika. Stickball, which is known as Ishtaboli or Kapucha, was devised as a way to settle disputes. As life is precious and a blessing from the Creator, all-out war could be avoided. Even in modern times with modern rules, the game is rough. To put this in perspective, in the past, no rules existed. The only understanding was that the ball was not to be touched by a player's hand. In modern stickball, rules about blocking and tackling have been added to protect the players. Stickball is played with no padding or helmets. Broken bones and other injuries still happen. Ishtaboli is known as the little brother of war for great reason.
That's the way they handled a lot of the disputes down in the southeast. And that is also why they call it little brother of war, because instead of going to battle, we played ball. That's another good way a young native boy would distinguish himself as a warrior, as being an excellent ball player. They would strive to be the best ball player out there.
And today, the tradition continues. The game contains many elements found in modern-day sports, such as basketball. Each game begins with a jump ball. Football tackles are abundant, as are wrestling takedowns. Scoring is not so easy. To do so, the ball must hit your opponent's heavily guarded goalpost, either by throwing the ball with the cabocha or by touching the goalpost with the ball cupped in the cabocha. Protective equipment can be summed up in one word: none. On July 14th through 17th, 1999, come celebrate with the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians at the 50th Anniversary Choctaw Indian Fair and experience the thrill and excitement of stickball for yourself.
Not only a game to the Cherokee and the other southeastern tribes, it's also a way to settle disputes. A lot of people say stickball came from lacrosse, but a lot of us say no, lacrosse came from stickball. So when you see a stickball game, each man has two sticks and they're all chasing this one leather ball. The original game was played on a football-sized field with two poles sticking out on each end for goals. Objects of that game was to get this ball between your sticks, run between those poles and score points. Not allowed to touch the ball with your hands. That's one of the rules that they have. So if your sticks get broken in a game, if you want to try to pick the ball up, you got to pick it up with your mouth and run with it. But normally that'll mean you're going to get hit in the head to try to get the ball out of your mouth. So it's a really rough game, a lot of injuries in the earlier days, even some deaths. But seeing as we were one of the largest tribes in the Southeast and we controlled about 80 million acres in an 8-state region, a lot of our little villages, this is how we settled disputes. Instead of going to war, we would settle them on the stickball field. And that was normally better than losing half of our tribe in a fight with another part of our tribe. So stickball was really a good game for that. Now the balls, they're made out of usually deer hide with deer hair in the middle wrapped around a big rock for weight. Now the sticks can be made out of any kind of hardwood. Hickory is one of the favorites. These right here are made from the bodart wood or horseapple tree. That's what we use to make our bows as well. The string here on the inside is made from elk hide. But you can use any kind of deer sinew, which is what the Cherokees use a lot for different kinds of string, things like that. But these are elk hide here. But like I said, they're steamed and then they're bent over. Now to the string itself, we use what we call a tic-tac-toe design. That's kind of the one I've always seen. But they do have what they call the diamond pattern, where you make different designs in there. And so it really doesn't matter as long as you can catch this little ball. We play a lot with girls. We play the social game. Now the social game was normally played with a pole and a fish on top. That's the one you see nowadays. We really don't play the war game anymore. And this came about to kind of courtship type, to let the women pick out a husband. Because when you get out and play this game, boys against girls, it gets really rough because the girls have no rules. They'll tackle us, knock us down, trip us, take our sticks away from us, throw them in the weeds, knock us down, grab you by the hair, pull you to the ground. And this was really to show what kind of man you were trying to get, because if he got mad whenever you slung him down, you know, then he probably wasn't going to make a good husband. So that's really what the courtship was about. Object of this game is to hit that fish on top of the pole and you'll get 3 points. Hit a foot or so below the fish, you'll get a point. And the pole can be different varying lengths. We like about 30 feet for us, 24 to 30 feet. Some people use 12 to 18, so it's really just a preference.